welcome to another edition of the Manual. We have the Professor Alton Woods. I am Chip Rice, and man, did you see? It is week one.
Week one
of the NFL.
Yes, sir.
And the Giants went for two with a minute and
right.
9 seconds.
They did right.
Seconds, and did right. Congratulations.
Congratulations
to Coach Dabo with a gutsy move on your first game.
First game.
Man, that was pretty cool there to see that happen.
Yeah.
It's week one. I recognize it's week one.
It doesn't matter, man. You take it. You take it.
You will. I take that. And I text you during the Atlanta Saints game,
yeah.
and I said, "What are y'all doing?" And you said nothing
related to
nothing
football.
related to football.
I am. It is typical Atlanta, New Orleans, though, man. I mean, this was a little exaggerated, but it is typical Atlanta, New Orleans, and unfortunately for Falcons fans, it's typical Atlanta. I read a stat. I saw a tweet. I don't know who tweeted it, but somebody said that since 2020, the Atlanta Falcons have lost 3 15-point leads in a game. The rest of the NFL combined, 2. Now I didn't research it myself.
Wow.
But I did see Mia X, who's a rapper, a female rapper, at least back in the day was a female rapper in New Orleans. Apparently, she put a video out. She tweeted a video. But apparently some Saints fans in the brass band was in the Atlanta Walmart after the game. Literally playing and dancing through the Walmart aisles. So this rivalry is so petty.
Yeah, it's real
petty.
It's real petty.
And we would not be able to talk about week one if we didn't talk about the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, and how they stunk up the place even prior to Dak getting hurt in that game.
Yes.
They were demolished by Tampa Bay. And Tampa Bay was struggling a little bit on offense.
Yeah,
they could only
get
some field goals.
Yeah, they were.
They eventually put them to bed, but Dallas is in trouble.
Dallas is in big trouble.
That man is out 6 to 8 weeks. They're in trouble. And I saw.
So Cooper Rush is not going to get it done?
Well, some prognosticators believe that, he can get it done. He won a game for him
the
a year ago.
devil is a liar, sir.
I'm just saying.
I know.
I'm just saying. It's week one.
That's right. I got you.
It's week one.
Shout out to the Commanders.
Yeah, the Commanders won.
Yeah. Pittsburgh and Cincinnati arm wrestled to see who was going to lose, and
they did.
Pittsburgh
literally.
They won the game, but they lost the game.
They say no, you win. That was terrible.
You kick it. No, block mine, or I'm going to miss mine, and you try.
And the loudest ball ever hitting a field goal post I have ever heard in my life.
Absolutely. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It was bad.
It was bad. It was bad. This is the Manual. So we're having a lot of fun here on this episode talking about week one. But I took to heart something that I saw I thought was interesting. Green Bay was playing and Brett Favre threw a long pass to
Aaron Rodgers.
I mean, Lord, geez, I said Brett Favre. I dated myself there. Aaron Rodgers threw a pass to, I believe his name is Christian Watson, rookie receiver, wide open. And literally he put his hands out and just didn't catch the ball.
Right.
And what I believe is that if you threw that man that ball 500 more times, he'd catch it 500 times.
500 times.
But because it was his first NFL game, the first time he had ever got open like that, a clear pass, pressure. And so I thought to myself, I said, man, now he's on like the biggest stage in football. And for some people, it's only American football is only second to world soccer,
right,
as far as things that are watched,
yeah,
popularity. And so I'm thinking, man, this guy, he knows what to do.
Right.
He was a high pick in the in the draft. And so he's gone and he doesn't catch the ball. And all I could think to myself is, what kind of pressure was that man dealing with when he saw that ball coming? He sees nothing but wide open field ahead of him, but somehow he lost concentration, didn't catch the ball.
Yep. So before we unpack pressure, you said something I thought was interesting. And this may be more football than man pressure.
Okay.
But you said, I believe his name was. First problem is we have no idea who the wide receivers are in Green Bay.
Right.
That's the first problem from a pure football perspective, because it has been Devontae Adams and guys like that for years.
Right.
Now it's whoever that guy's name is. But anyway, you know, it's an interesting point, because you also said his lack of experience. He's new, a rookie, whatever. And the only way you can, my opinion, is to hone your skills in dealing with pressure is to have experience in it. Right? Because I think all of us, or many of us, mess it up the first time.
Absolutely.
And if we didn't mess it up, I would argue we were more lucky than skilled.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Because in this case, he's running, there's however many people are seated in that dome, because they were in Minneapolis, right?
They were in Minnesota.
Minnesota,
yes.
yeah. And so 70,000 people watching him run open. And to catch a ball that he's been doing since he's 6, literally.
From arguably the best quarterback in football right now.
Right. But even a bad quarterback, when you wide open.
Yeah, he's wide open.
You saw Justin Fields roll around to the right, and he just lobbed it up, and the guy's standing there by himself, and he catches it, right? I mean, so.
See it.
But
wasn't the timing pattern, no anything. All you got to do is catch it.
Just catch it. But it's amazing how the simplest task can become so difficult for us when the pressure amps up.
Pressure is, it's an amazing thing, because most of us can stand on the side. It's people going crazy. Man, I can't believe you didn't catch that ball.
Right.
So we're spectating. We're looking at what it is that you're going through, believing that if we were in the same position, we would have been able to accomplish the task.
That's right. It is. Speaking of pressure, and our kids, and you know, since we have a sports theme going on, I think that's also important. Our kids, because you know I coach youth football, so we had this. We played in the rain. It rained all day Saturday. By the way,
it did.
We're standing in water up to our ankles. We played though, and my kids, man, my 10-year-olds, they fought hard. We took a L. Shout out to Deuce and the quarterback for the Indians 10U. They are real, right? But my kids fought really hard. But I say all of that to say, in those moments, we have parents, some cases parents who don't even come to practice. Their kid get a ride from somebody else. But in the game, they can tell you what you should be doing, right? And that's the interesting part about spectators. They can sit there and look at your life and tell you what you should do. But if they're not feeling the pressure and living in the circumstances, right? They don't always understand the dynamics around it.
Right. You're not even a legitimate contributor to the process.
No.
You know, you're just saying, okay, well, this is what you should do. And there are times where your information or your wisdom may be sound.
Right.
But in most cases, it's emotionalism that's happening, and you're upset about something that is not your control.
Exactly.
But why are you upset when you didn't do anything to try to help in the matter?
Absolutely.
I was looking at the Oxford Dictionary. There are a couple of definitions for pressure. Of course, there's a technical definition: continuous physical force exerted on or against an object by something in contact with it. But then there's another definition that's the verb. It says attempt to persuade or coerce someone into doing something. It also states that it's the use of persuasion, influence, or intimidation to make someone do something. And so in each instance, there is another factor that is trying to cause something to do something else.
Right.
Men deal with a lot of different pressures in life.
Sure.
Us as husbands,
right?
We have the factors of our wives, our children, and so now the pressure comes from how do I make sure that they're taken care of and provide the things that they need, and how what are the resources going to be? Who do I have to contact? How do I have to perform?
Right.
It's so many pressures that a lot of times men don't even address, but we're under them.
Right.
It's like, okay, I got to make sure I keep a roof over these people's heads. I got to make sure that these kids are fed. I got to keep gas in this tank.
Right.
Those are the basics, and then we
That's
ain't
right.
talking about pocketbooks and trips and everything else that happens as far as relationships are concerned. So I think that men sometimes need to acknowledge that, man, we under some pressure.
Under some pressure.
To
Absolutely.
perform.
Absolutely. And I know a lot of times we get into roles, husband, father, but there's just a gender related pressure. Right. So I say that because, if you're not married or you don't have kids or neither of those things, it doesn't mean that's the only source of pressure.
Absolutely.
Right. As a man, there's certain gender norms that start to shape what we think we should be and who we think we should be. There's the pressure of how can you be a man and not know about sports?
Right.
Forget your natural interest.
Right.
It is just assumed that every man should know something about sports.
Right. My son is the classic example of that. My son cares nothing. I mean, literally nothing about
Right.
about sports.
Right, right.
He only picks a team to annoy us. So
Right.
you have that.
Right. A man should be able to fix things.
Okay.
Right.
Yep.
And of course, depending on where you grow up and profession and careers of the men that you've been exposed to, that starts to shape some pressures that we don't even know we carry. Right. So, yep, you have the standard. If I'm the husband, I'm supposed to provide and protect and all of that. And that's true. But ignoring all of that, there's just this natural pressure we walk in. Right. It's amazing. And that how my wife, Alasia, came over yesterday to watch the game with us. And, and so we were all home. And it was almost like a ping pong match between my wife and Alasia telling me the stuff they need me to do. Now, mind you, we're supposed to be there to watch the game.
Right. It's the first week of the football season.
Week 1. And look, I think I'm doing something. I'm cooking dinner. And then my wife is like, I had some ribs in the slow cooker. They were excellent, by the way. I made some mashed potatoes, and I was
Mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
That means that you went beyond just like the regular potato. You went mashed.
well, yeah, but I mean, it was I put it in a bag. I got it out of the bag. Don't worry, I wasn't starting from scratch.
I was trying to
You trying to
get
help me?
you a
Yeah, no. I'm not gonna lie to you now. But and then I got some green beans, and she's like, well, why are you doing green beans and potato or vegetable? And the lady's like, well, why don't you cook some rice? And I'm like, so wait a minute. When y'all standing in this kitchen, I'm never leaning over y'all saying, why are you cooking this and why are you cooking that? Why are y'all talking to me about what I'm cooking? Don't eat it. But even in those moments, and I mean, lighthearted, granted, but still there's a level of pressure that comes with almost everything we do as well.
Right. Do you want to do so now? Should I not do the green beans, or do I need to make some rice to go along with this? It's just like, because it's not that I'm mad. It's now I want to make sure I please you. I want everybody to be happy. Wow.
And often what we do in those situations is if we feel like, and this is not the case here, but if we feel like I can't please you, we stop trying. Right? Because if the pressure is just too much to keep trying to do something that I fail at.
Right. Like, so you're saying, okay, hey, well, I want pound cake. Well, no, get some ice cream to go with that. Well, didn't you think about the strawberries? And so it gets to a point where it's like, you may not have a bad intention, but you putting pressure on me, and it makes me believe that whatever I've done is not good enough.
Correct.
So, and that can happen on both sides of the coin too.
Absolutely.
So just to understand that. But for a man, sometimes he can become disinterested in whatever the relationship is because he feels like he can't win.
Right.
There's always something wrong.
And because of the pressure, and you say the key word, because he can't win. So because of the pressure, we have to experience wins to renew our energy.
Absolutely.
Right. And so key for the ladies out there, if you want to continue to encourage your man to react well to the pressure he feels in life, then what you have to do is celebrate some wins.
Yeah.
Right? I don't care if they're small wins, big wins. It doesn't matter what it is. The reality is he needs the wins to be able to continue to go on.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, he will stop.
He will
And there's
stop.
certain situations, man, certain scenarios where I talk to people like, well, I'll use a married couple. My husband doesn't try anymore. And initially it's like, come on, man, you got to work harder. But when you start peeling that onion back enough and you realize that nothing's ever good enough, maybe, then I understand why he stops trying.
Right.
Now, I'm not creating an excuse. We still got to keep working at it on both sides of this thing.
Right.
But that's the give and take.
To some of our young men that are out there, whether they be in school or their jobs, you have the pressure of competing in class, or doing the work that you have that's ahead of you, of working at a job, being consistent at that. One of the keys to overcoming pressure is repetition.
Right.
So we alluded to that earlier.
Yes.
How when you do something over and over again, when you do the right thing, then it becomes routine.
Right.
And so the pressure is alleviated because I'm now used to this environment.
That's right.
I'm hoping that the young man that missed the catch, that he'll get back in his mind and say, okay, I've done this over and over and over again for years.
Right.
So I know what I'm doing. I let the moment get to me.
Right.
But I know what I'm doing.
Right.
Man, that might be good preaching material right there, and how that sometimes it's not that I don't know what I'm doing. I let the pressure of the moment get to me.
Right. And a good coach will come to the young man and say, settle down. You know how to do this. And not only will he remind him that he knows how to do it, he will then run it back to him again to build his confidence that's probably shaken after such an easy mistake.
Right.
Which is a great leadership lesson also, right? If you have someone that's talented and they mess up something that you know they can do and they know they can do, you don't move away from them, you come back to them.
Yeah, we're not going to destroy them because they weren't adequate in the moment.
Correct.
Let's say, okay, I know this is in you. I believe that it's in you, and I'm going to still give you every opportunity to show us what you have.
That's right.
And how you can be successful.
That's right.
And so dealing with pressure is it's something that everybody has to deal with. Nobody's exempt from it. Christ himself dealt with it. He was in a garden, and the pressure got to him so bad that Scripture says he was sweating sweat and blood.
Yeah.
This was intense what it is that he was about to do.
Right.
And so everybody experiences pressure. Don't ever feel like that just because your situation is bad, somebody else has experienced that level of pressure in some way. And so it's good that we all experience, because now it will also let me know that I can navigate through this.
Absolutely.
That when that pressure hits me and then I still am able to perform, I know that the pressure does not define me.
Absolutely. They say pressure will bust a pipe or make a diamond.
That's right. That's right.
That's the two.
That's right. And so there's a diamond in you, man.
Yes.
There's the pressures that you're dealing with in certain circumstances of life is because there's something great on the inside of you, and we want to see the greatness come out. Don't fall apart. Don't fall apart. And now I'll add this, that if the pressure did bust your pipe, then get the piping repaired.
Get the pipe
Get the
fixed.
right kind of piping.
Absolutely.
Get your life together, get the right people around you, get the right information so that you're better equipped to deal with pressure situations.
That's right. That's right.
That's pretty good.
It is.
All right, so you can like, subscribe, comment, share all of that for the manual for you at Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Man, we love to have you be a part of the conversation. Keep talking to us and let us know what's going on, things that maybe you want us to address as far as men are concerned, some questions that you may have to put out there to see if we can help you be the best man you can be. He is the Professor Alton Woods. I am Chip Rice, and this has been another edition of The Manual.